I'm sitting in my father's dining room, and my hands won't stop shaking. Nathan just slipped me a note under the table, and the words blur as I read them again. They changed your name on the document. My heart is hammering so hard I can hear it in my ears. I force myself to look up slowly, carefully, like everything is fine. Patricia is smiling at me from across the table, that perfect practice smile she's worn all evening. Garrett, her brother, is sliding more papers toward me with his expensive pen balanced on top. And Dad won't look at me. He's staring at his wine glass like it holds the answers to questions nobody's asking. 20 minutes from now, I'm going to call the police. But right now, I have to pretend I don't know anything is wrong. Let me back up. 3 weeks ago, everything was normal. Well, as normal as things get with my family. I was at my desk, working on a logo design for a client, when my phone rang. Dad's name flashed on the screen, and I actually stared at it for a few seconds before answering. We don't talk much. Christmas, maybe my birthday if he remembers. Sometimes not even then. Olivia, sweetheart. His voice sounded strange, emotional. I've been going through some old papers, and I found documents related to your mother's estate. Things that need updating before you turn 30. My mother. He never talks about her. She died when I was 16, cancer that took 3 years to finally win. Hearing him mention her made my chest tight. What kind of documents? I asked. Trust paperwork, inheritance details. Nothing concerning, just administrative stuff that needs signatures. I thought we could do it over dinner. Family meeting. Sunday? He paused. I'd really like to see you, Liv. It's been too long. I wanted to believe him so badly. I wanted to believe my father finally wanted to spend time with me. Wanted to talk about Mum. Wanted to be present in my life. So, I said yes. Nathan wasn't thrilled when I told him. Why now? Why after 12 years does your mum's trust suddenly need attention? He was chopping vegetables for dinner. His lawyer brain already suspicious. Maybe he's been thinking about Mom. Maybe he's finally ready to deal with her stuff. I wrapped my arms around him from behind. Can you come with me? I don't want to go alone. He turned and kissed my forehead. Of course. But Liv, promise me something. Don't sign anything without letting me read it first. The days leading up to Sunday felt strange. Patricia called twice to confirm we were coming. Patricia, who usually acts like I don't exist. Just want to make sure you have the address, she said, even though I grew up in that house. And the time, 6 o'clock. Don't be late. Sunday arrived, and Nathan drove us to the estate. The house looked different somehow. The gardens were overgrown, paint peeling on the shutters, things I didn't remember seeing before. Patricia opened the door wearing jewelry I'd never seen, expensive, flashy. Olivia! Nathan! Come in, come in! She hugged me, which she never does. Her perfume was overwhelming. The house smelled like catered food and expensive candles. In the dining room, Garrett was already sitting at the table. I'd only met him twice, once at Dad's wedding to Patricia, once at some holiday I can't remember. He's Patricia's brother, and something about him always made my skin crawl. Dinner started with appetizers I couldn't eat because my stomach was in knots. Dad pulled out old photo albums, pictures of him and Mom when they were young, before I was born. He told stories I'd never heard, about their first date, their wedding, how happy they were. I felt tears burning in my eyes. This was what I'd wanted for years. My dad, remembering Mom, talking to me like I mattered. But Nathan was watching Patricia and Garrett. I saw him notice the glances they exchanged, the way Patricia kept checking her watch. When I excused myself to the bathroom, I heard sharp whispers from the dining room, but I couldn't make out words. After dinner, Dad cleared his throat. So, the reason I asked you here, we need to discuss your mother's estate. I've been working with Garrett on restructuring things, and there are some documents that need your signature. Patricia leaned forward, her voice honey-sweet. We just want to make sure you're taken care of, sweetie. That you get everything your mother wanted you to have. Garrett opened a leather folder and pulled out thick stacks of paper, official looking. Lots of legal language and fancy letterhead. These are amended trust documents, he explained, using words I didn't understand. Tax optimization, beneficiary restructuring, estate minimization strategies. My head was spinning. Mum's will was simple. I remembered the lawyer explaining it after she died. Everything goes to Olivia when she turns 30. This seemed so much more complicated. Garrett slid the papers toward me with a pen. Just need your signature on the highlighted lines. Nathan's hand landed on mine. Hard. Let me review these first. Patricia's smile tightened just a little. Nathan, it's just family business. Garrett is a legal professional. Then he won't mind me reading them. Nathan pulled the papers toward him, and I saw his jaw clench as he read. Under the table, he squeezed my hand 3 times. Our signal. Something's wrong. I need to take a work call, Nathan said suddenly. Liv, come with me? In the hallway, he pulled out his phone and typed fast, then showed me the screen. Don't sign anything. Just smile. My stomach dropped. What's wrong? He shook his head, pointed back to the dining room. We returned to the table. I'll need to take these home to review properly, Nathan said. His voice calm but firm. Dad looked panicked. Patricia's voice got sharp. This is just a family discussion, Nathan. We're not in a courtroom, Garrett added. The documents need to be executed today. Tax deadline. Nathan didn't budge. My wife doesn't sign anything I haven't reviewed. That's non-negotiable. The room felt cold suddenly. Hostile. As they argued about taking the papers home, Nathan slipped something into my lap, a folded piece of paper. I opened it carefully, keeping it below the table edge. They changed your name on the document. Check page 7. My vision went dark at the edges. I flipped casually to page 7, trying to look like I was just browsing. Under primary beneficiary of the Helen Marie Hartford Trust. It didn't say my name. It said, Patricia Ann Hartford. My mother's entire inheritance. Everything she worked for. Saved, protected. Going to Patricia, the woman who replaced her. I looked up, and Patricia was watching me. She knew I'd seen it. And she was smiling. The room feels like it's tilting. I'm staring at Patricia's name where mine should be, and I can't breathe properly. $4 million. My mother's life insurance, her investment properties, her savings accounts, everything she left to protect me, all of it going to the woman sitting across from me with that calculated smile. I forced myself to look away from the document, to arrange my face into something neutral. Years of trying to please this family have made me a decent actress. I can do this. I can pretend I didn't see anything. Actually, I say, and I'm proud of how steady my voice sounds. I'd love to understand this better before signing. Can you explain exactly what I'd be agreeing to? Garrett launches into an explanation full of legal terms that sound impressive but mean nothing. Tax shelters, beneficiary consolidation, estate protection strategies. He's talking fast, gesturing with his hands, and I realize he's nervous. He didn't expect questions. Nathan is reading ahead in the documents, his finger tracing lines of text. I know that look. He's in lawyer mode, catching things that don't add up. This section here, Nathan interrupts, pointing to a dense paragraph. This isn't about tax optimization. This is about transferring primary beneficiary status permanently. The room goes quiet. Garrett recovers quickly. It's standard trust language, nothing unusual. Actually, Nathan's voice is ice. This isn't trust language at all. This is a complete beneficiary redesignation. You're not restructuring Olivia's inheritance. You're taking it. I watch my father shrink in his chair. Patricia's hand moves to his arm, her fingers digging in like claws. Dad? My voice comes out smaller than I want it to. Did you know about this? He finally looks at me, and I see guilt written all over his face. Garrett said this was the best way to handle things. To protect the assets, I'm just trying to do what's right for the family. What's right for the family? Nathan stands up, and I've never heard him this angry. Or, what's right for Patricia? Patricia's mask is slipping. I can see it cracking at the edges. You're overcomplicating this, Nathan. Richard is Olivia's father. The money should have gone to him in the first place. Helen was being vindictive when she cut him out. The mention of my mother's name in Patricia's mouth makes me feel sick. My mother didn't cut him out, I say quietly. She protected me. There's a difference. Nathan flips to the back of the document, and I see his face change. There are references here to previous agreements, dates from last Christmas, Easter, Olivia's birthday. He looks at me. Did you sign anything on those dates? My mind races backward. Christmas. Patricia gave me a beautiful card with a family memory book inside. Just sign here so we can preserve our family history, she'd said. Easter. A charity donation form for a children's cancer fund in my mother's memory. My birthday. A family tree document that Patricia said she was making for Dad's office. Oh God, I whisper. The memory book, the charity form, the family tree. Nathan's jaw clenches. You've been collecting her signature. For months. Building a paper trail. Garrett stands abruptly. This meeting is over. But Nathan moves to block the doorway. We're not leaving until you explain why you're trying to steal my wife's inheritance. My father's voice is weak, pathetic. It's not stealing. It's family helping family. I have debts, Olivia. The business isn't what everyone thinks it is. I've made bad investments. I'm going to lose everything. So you decided to take everything from me instead? I can't believe these words are coming from my mouth. But I can't stop them. Mum's money. The money she earned, saved, invested. The money she specifically put in a trust so you couldn't touch it. Patricia stands, and now her mask is completely gone. Your mother was selfish. She left your father with nothing but debt and mortgages. She gave everything to you, a 16-year-old child who didn't need millions of dollars. Meanwhile, Richard struggled for 12 years while you sat on a fortune you never even thought about. Because I trusted it was safe. My voice breaks. Because I thought my father wouldn't steal from me. Nathan pulls out his phone. I'm giving you one chance. Explain everything right now, or I'm calling the police. Patricia laughs. It's cold and sharp. And tell them what? That your wife signed legal documents? That she voluntarily modified her mother's trust over the course of 2 years? Good luck proving otherwise. I didn't voluntarily do anything. I'm standing now, my chair scraping against the hardwood floor. You tricked me. Every card, every form, every document. You lied about what they were. Did we? Garrett's voice is calm, practiced. Or did you just not bother reading before signing? That's carelessness, Olivia, not fraud. My father puts his head in his hands. I can see him shaking. Part of me wants to go to him, comfort him like I always have. But a bigger part of me is realizing something terrible. He's not shaking from guilt. He's shaking because they're getting caught. Dad. I walk closer to him. Tell them the truth. Tell them you tricked me. Tell them I didn't know what I was signing. He looks up at me, and for a moment I see my father, the man who used to read me bedtime stories, who taught me to ride a bike, who cried at my wedding. Then he looks at Patricia, and I watch him make his choice. I don't know what you want me to say, Olivia. You signed the documents. You're an adult. You should have read them. The betrayal hits me like a physical blow. Nathan's hand is on my shoulder, pulling me back. We're leaving. Now. But Garrett steps in front of the door. And he's bigger than Nathan. More intimidating. Actually, you're not leaving with those documents. Those are confidential family financial records. Move. Nathan's voice is deadly quiet. Or I add assault to the list of charges I'm filing. For a long moment, nobody moves. I can hear my pulse pounding in my ears. Then Patricia nods, just barely, and Garrett steps aside. But Patricia's voice follows us as we head for the front door. You call the police, Olivia. You destroy your father. He'll go to prison. Is that what you want? To put your own father behind bars? I stop in the doorway, looking back at the man who raised me, the man who just chose a con artist over his own daughter. You did this, I say. Not me. In the car, I'm shaking so hard my teeth are chattering. Nathan drives for a few minutes in silence, then pulls into a parking lot. He looks at his watch. Liv, listen to me. We have maybe 20 minutes before they start destroying evidence. I need to call the police right now. He hands me his phone. But I need you to be sure. Once we do this, there's no going back. I think about my mother, spending her last months setting up that trust, protecting me from something she must have already seen in my father. I think about Patricia's smile as she tried to trick me into signing away everything Mum left me. I take Nathan's phone and dial 911. The dispatcher answers on the second ring. 911. What's your emergency? My voice is steadier than I expect. I need to report fraud and identity theft. My stepmother and her brother tried to make me sign documents that would steal my inheritance. They've been forging my signature for months. My husband is a lawyer, he has evidence. Are you in immediate danger right now, ma'am? I think about Garrett blocking the door, the threat in his stance. I don't think so. We left the house, but they're probably destroying evidence right now. The dispatcher takes our location, asks a few more questions, then tells us to meet officers at the nearest police station. Nathan starts driving before I even hang up. You did the right thing, he says, but I can't respond. I'm numb. I just reported my own father to the police. At the station, 2 officers listen to our story. I watch their expressions change from skeptical to concerned as Nathan spreads the documents across the table, pointing out Patricia's name where mine should be, showing them the suspicious signatures. This needs fraud division, one officer says, pulling out his phone. 20 minutes later, a woman walks in, Detective Lisa Brooks. She's in her 40s, wearing plain clothes, with eyes that look like they've seen every kind of lie there is. She sits across from me and listens without interrupting. I tell her everything. About Mum dying when I was 16. About the trust. About Patricia suddenly being nice to me 2 years ago. About the birthday cards and charity forms and family trees I signed without thinking. About tonight's dinner and the fake documents. When I finish, Brooks looks at Nathan. You're a lawyer? Corporate law. But yes. So you understand what we're looking at here. This isn't just civil fraud. If they've been forging signatures, falsifying trust documents, that's criminal. Identity theft. Possibly wire fraud if anything was submitted electronically. My stomach turns. Criminal charges. Prison time. For my father. Brooks is typing rapidly on her computer. Your stepmother, Patricia Walsh, before she married your father? Yes. How did you? She turns her screen around. It's a news article from 15 years ago. Patricia Walsh investigated for financial exploitation of an elderly man. Charges dropped due to insufficient evidence. But the man's children claim she manipulated him into changing his will. I feel cold all over. She's done this before. Brooks pulls up more records. Marriage licenses. Divorce decrees. She's been married 3 times before your father. Each marriage ended in divorce. Each time she walked away with substantial assets. She looks at me with something like pity. Your stepmother has a pattern. She targets men with money, but specifically, she goes after their family's inheritances, trust funds, estate money, things the wife wouldn't normally have access to. Oh my God, I whisper. Brooks keeps typing. Her brother, Garrett Walsh, disbarred 8 years ago for falsifying documents in an estate case. Served 2 years in prison. She looks up. He's done this before too. They're a team. Nathan leans forward. How many victims? That I can prove? 3 before Olivia. Probably more we don't know about. I can't breathe. I wasn't a daughter to them. I was a mark. A target. Everything, the friendly lunches. The birthday cards. The conversations about my mother, all of it was just setting me up. My father. I force myself to ask. Did he know? About Patricia's history. Brooks makes a phone call to another department. I sit in the silent station, listening to the hum of fluorescent lights and distant phone conversations. After 20 minutes, Brooks hangs up. Your father hired a private investigator to look into Patricia before they got engaged. The PI gave him a full report detailing her suspicious past. He married her anyway. The words hit me like a slap. He knew what she was, and he married her. And when she said, "Let's steal from your daughter," he said yes. People do desperate things when they're financially cornered. Brooks says, not unkindly, "Your father's business has been failing for years. He's mortgaged his properties, living on credit. Patricia probably promised she could fix everything by stealing from me," I say flatly. Brooks nods. "I need to move fast. If they know you're onto them, they're destroying evidence right now. I'm requesting an emergency warrant to search your father's home and seize all documents related to your mother's estate." She makes rapid phone calls, using phrases like imminent destruction of evidence and ongoing fraud conspiracy. I watch her work, feeling disconnected from my own body. This is really happening. Police are going to raid my childhood home. My father is going to be arrested. Nathan pulls me close, and I rest my head on his shoulder. I think about Mum. 3 years of cancer treatments, growing weaker but fighting to stay alive long enough to set up my trust. She knew, even dying, she knew my father couldn't be trusted with my future. "The warrant's approved," Brooke says, hanging up her phone. She looks at me seriously. "I'm going there now with a team. We'll likely arrest all 3 of them tonight if we find what I think we're going to find, your father included. Are you prepared for that?" I think about Dad crying at the dinner table, begging, manipulating. I think about Mum's handwriting on the trust documents for my beloved daughter Olivia, to be distributed when she reaches age 30. "Yes," I tell Brooks. "I'm prepared." She leaves with her team. Nathan and I sit in the police station's waiting area for over an hour. I can't stop shaking. Nathan gets me terrible coffee from a vending machine, and I hold it just to have something warm in my hands. Finally, Brooks calls. "We got them. All 3 of them. They were feeding documents into a shredder when we arrived. Your father, Patricia, and Garrett, destroying evidence as fast as they could. We stopped them, but they'd already destroyed about half of what we needed." "Did you find anything?" "Olivia, we found everything. The originals of documents you signed, the birthday cards, the family trees with your real signature. We found blank trust modification forms with your signature already forged on them, ready to be filled in and filed. We found email chains between Patricia and Garrett planning this for over 2 years." My vision blurs with tears. 2 years! "They weren't planning to take part of your inheritance," Brooke says, her voice gentle. "They were taking all of it. The emails detail the whole plan, name Patricia as primary beneficiary, claim your mother verbally expressed wishes to care for your father, establish a pattern of you voluntarily transferring assets. By the time you turned 30 and could access the trust, it would be empty." I feel Nathan's arm tighten around me. "There's something else," Brooks continues. "We found files on 3 other women, daughters of men Patricia dated or married before your father. She did this before, successfully. One woman lost a $2 million inheritance before she even knew it was gone. Another is still fighting in court 3 years later. You would have been victim number 4. I close my eyes. All those women. All those families destroyed. "We're arresting all 3 of them tonight," Brooks says. "Patricia and Garrett, for conspiracy to commit fraud, forgery, identity theft, and attempted grand theft. Your father as an accessory and co-conspirator. They'll be held overnight pending bail hearings tomorrow." After she hangs up, I sit in silence. Nathan doesn't push me to talk. Finally, I speak. "He knew what she was. He married her anyway. He knew what she did to other people's daughters, and he helped her do it to me." "I know," Nathan says quietly. "How do I forgive that?" "You don't have to." My phone buzzes. A number I don't recognize. I let it go to voicemail. It buzzes again immediately. A text from an unknown number. This is Richard Hartford's attorney. Your father desperately wants to speak with you. He's devastated and remorseful. Please call me. I show Nathan the text. He takes my phone and types back. All communication goes through me. I'm her attorney for this matter. Another text comes through almost immediately. Your father is facing serious prison time. A character statement from his daughter could make a significant difference. Think about what your mother would have wanted. I actually laugh, but there's no humor in it. They're using Mom to manipulate me. Even now. Even arrested. Nathan's face is hard. That's what predators do. They use your love, your loyalty, your empathy as weapons. The question is, are you going to let them? I think about the little girl who lost her mother at 16, who spent 12 years trying to earn her father's love, who signed birthday cards and charity forms because she wanted to be a good daughter. Then I think about the woman I am now, the woman my mother raised me to be. I take my phone back from Nathan and call Detective Brooks. I want to press full charges, I tell her, against all three of them, and I want to give a victim statement at the bail hearing. Are you sure? Brooks asks. You'll have to say it in front of your father. I look at Nathan, who nods encouragingly. I'm sure, I say. He made his choice. Now I'm making mine. I don't sleep that night. Every time I close my eyes, I see my father's face, not from tonight, but from years ago. Him at my 6th grade graduation. Him walking me down the aisle at my wedding. Him crying at Mom's funeral, looking so lost that I promised myself I'd take care of him. I kept that promise. And he repaid me by trying to steal everything Mom left to protect me. Nathan is already awake when dawn breaks, reviewing the documents we took from the house. He's made notes, highlighted sections, built a timeline. His legal training has kicked into overdrive. We need to go to the station, he says. Brooks wants formal statements, and there's more evidence to review. At the police station, Brooks leads us to a conference room. I stop in the doorway. There are boxes everywhere. Bankers' boxes full of papers, all labeled with evidence tags. We seized everything from your father's home office, Brooks explains. We found more than we expected. She starts spreading papers across the table. Drafts of forged trust modifications dating back 3 years. Printed emails between Patricia and Garrett discussing the Hartford opportunity. And then she shows me something that makes my blood run cold, handwritten notes in Patricia's looping script. I read the timeline she created. Asterisk. November 2022. 2. Christmas gathering. Bring family memory book. Get signature. Asterisk. Asterisk April 2023. Easter brunch. Emotional conversation about Helen. Use charity donation form cancer research in her name. Olivia won't refuse. Asterisk. Asterisk August 2023. Olivia's birthday. Family tree document. Make it sentimental. Asterisk. Every interaction I thought was genuine connection was just a step in her plan. I was never a stepdaughter to her. I was a job. There are 3 other folders here, Brooks says, pulling out files. Other victims. She opens the first one. Jennifer Chen. Her father dated Patricia for 2 years. Jennifer had a trust from her grandmother, $1.8 million. Patricia and Garrett forged modification documents. By the time Jennifer realized what happened, Patricia had withdrawn $800,000. Jennifer's been in court for 4 years trying to recover it. She spent nearly $300,000 in legal fees. Brooks opens the second folder. Amy Rodriguez. Her father married Patricia briefly. Amy had an inheritance from her late mother, a real estate portfolio worth $3 million. Patricia convinced Amy's father the properties should be consolidated into a family business. Garrett forged transfer documents. Amy lost 2 commercial properties before she discovered the fraud. She won in court eventually, but legal fees cost her $500,000. The third folder is thicker. Beth Morrison. Trust fund from her mother. $4.2 million. Patricia married Beth's father when Beth was 25. Over 5 years, Patricia slowly drained the entire trust using forged documents. By the time Beth turned 30 and could access it, the account was empty. Beth proved fraud in court, but the money was gone spent, hidden in offshore accounts, untraceable. She recovered almost nothing. I feel sick. How many lives has she destroyed? These are just the ones we can prove, Brooks says. There are probably more who never reported it or didn't realize what happened until it was too late. Nathan is studying the folders, his lawyer brain working. These victims all have something in common. Women in their 20s, inheritances from deceased mothers, trusts that mature at age 30. Patricia has a very specific type. She's patient, Brooks adds. She'll spend years setting up the con. She grooms the fathers, gains access to family information, befriends the daughters, then exploits them right before they can access their money. Why did my father agree to this? The question bursts out of me. Even if he needed money, why help her steal from his own daughter? Brooks pulls up something on her laptop, text messages between my father and Patricia. She turns the screen so I can read them. Asterisk, Patricia. If you don't help me with this, I'm leaving. Asterisk. Asterisk, Richard. Please don't. I can't lose another wife. I can't be alone again. Asterisk. Asterisk, Patricia. Then you know what needs to happen. It's Olivia or me. Asterisk. Asterisk. Richard. Can't we find another way? Asterisk. Asterisk, Patricia. There is no other way. The business is failing. The house is in foreclosure. This is our only option. Asterisk. Asterisk, Richard. She's my daughter. Asterisk. Asterisk. Patricia. And I'm your wife. Who matters more? Asterisk. I read the timestamp. This conversation happened 6 months ago. 6 months he knew exactly what they were planning, and he chose Patricia. He had doubts, Brooks says quietly. The texts show he struggled with it morally. But he never stopped. He was more afraid of being alone than of destroying you. There's a knock on the conference room door. An elderly man enters, silver hair, kind eyes, expensive suit. Brooks introduces him as Harrison Green, the attorney who manages my mother's trust. Helen would be devastated, he says, sitting across from me. She set up that trust specifically because she worried about Richard's judgment. But I never imagined he'd go this far. Mr. Green, can I ask you something? My voice is small. If the trust has all these protections, how did Patricia think she'd actually steal it? His expression turns grim. She wasn't planning to go through proper channels. We found documents showing they planned to file a fraudulent court order claiming I'd been removed as trustee due to incompetence. Garrett would be installed as the new trustee. Then they'd liquidate the trust assets before anyone noticed. Nathan leans forward. That's not just fraud. That's forging court documents, impersonating court officials. Exactly, Brooks says. This isn't just about stealing money. They were planning multiple felonies. Patricia and Garrett are facing 10 to 20 years if convicted. Your father, as an accessory, is looking at 5 to 10 years minimum. My phone buzzes. Dad's attorney again. I don't answer. It buzzes again with a voicemail. Then a text. Asterisk. Your father is desperate to speak with you. He's remorseful and wants to make amends. Please give him a chance to explain. He's your only parent. Asterisk. The guilt strategy. The same manipulation, just from a different angle. The bail hearings are this afternoon, Brooks tells me. Patricia and Garrett will almost certainly be denied bail, their flight risks with a pattern of fraud across multiple states. Your father might be granted bail if his attorney argues he's not a danger and has community ties. The thought of Dad being released, calling me, showing up at my apartment, makes my chest tight. Can he contact me if he's released? We'll request a no-contact order as part of bail conditions. Brooks assures me. He won't be legally allowed to call, text, visit, or contact you in any way. If he violates it, he goes back to jail immediately. I want to give a victim statement at the bail hearing. I hear myself say. I need to tell the judge what they did. Brooks nods. It's your right, but you need to understand your father will be in the courtroom. You'll have to say everything in front of him. Nathan takes my hand. I'll be right there with you. We spend the next 2 hours preparing my statement. I write about trusting my father despite years of distance. About Patricia using my grief over Mum as a weapon. About signing birthday cards, and not knowing each signature was another link in a chain meant to imprison me financially. About the fear of almost losing everything my dying mother tried to protect. At the courthouse that afternoon, I sit in the gallery, Nathan beside me. My father is brought in wearing an orange jumpsuit. He looks smaller than I remember. Older. Broken. When he sees me, he tries to stand, reaching toward me, but guards pull him back down. His attorney whispers urgently in his ear. Patricia and Garrett are brought in separately. Patricia looks defiant, chin up, like this is all beneath her. Garrett looks annoyed, like we're wasting his time. Patricia's attorney argues she's a respected community member with no criminal record. The prosecutor counters with evidence of her pattern of fraud, 3 proven victims, investigations in 2 other states, marriages that ended suspiciously. The judge denies bail. Flight risk and danger to the community. Garrett's attorney claims he's reformed since his previous conviction. The prosecutor presents evidence he never stopped committing fraud, just got better at hiding it. Bail denied. Then it's Dad's turn. His attorney paints him as Patricia's victim, a grieving widower who made poor choices under a manipulative woman's influence. My client has lived in this community for 30 years. He has a daughter here, roots, a business. He's not a flight risk. He's deeply remorseful and willing to cooperate fully with investigators. The attorney requests bail of $50,000. The prosecutor stands. Your Honor, I'd like to call the victim to provide a statement. My legs are shaking as I walk to the front of the courtroom. I don't look at Dad. I can't. Not yet. I unfold my statement and begin to read. My mother died when I was 16. She spent 3 years battling cancer, and in her final months, she created a trust to protect me. She knew my father's weaknesses, and she loved him anyway, but she loved me more. She made sure he couldn't touch the money she'd worked so hard to save. My voice breaks, but I continue. For 2 years, my stepmother pretended to care about me. She took me to lunch. She sent birthday cards. She asked about my life. And I believed her, because I wanted a family. I wanted my father to be present in my life. So I signed every paper she put in front of me without reading them, because I trusted family. Now I look at Dad. He's crying, mouthing, "I'm sorry." Tonight I almost signed away everything my mother died trying to protect. If my husband hadn't caught the forgery, I would have lost $4 million. I didn't even know I was giving away. But more than that, I would have lost my mother's final gift to me. The knowledge that she loved me enough to protect me even after death. I fold the paper, my hands shaking. My father chose his wife over his daughter. He chose money over integrity. He chose to steal from his own child rather than face his failures. And even now his attorney is trying to manipulate me with guilt, telling me I'm his only family, that my mother would want me to help him. I look directly at the judge. My mother wouldn't want me to help someone who tried to destroy what she built. She would want me to protect myself. That's why she created the trust in the first place. I return to my seat. Nathan grabs my hand, squeezing tight. The judge is quiet for a long moment. Then he speaks. Bail is granted in the amount of $250,000. The defendant will wear a GPS monitor and is forbidden from any contact with the victim. Violation of the no-contact order will result in immediate rearrest. Dad's attorney looks relieved. I feel like I'm going to be sick. 3 days after the hearing, Detective Brooks calls to tell me Dad made bail. Someone, probably a friend or his attorney, posted it using the house as collateral. He's out, wearing a GPS ankle monitor, with strict conditions. No contact with me. No leaving the county. No access to any financial accounts. And mandatory check-ins with a probation officer twice a week. Remember, the no-contact order is enforceable, Brooks reminds me. If he calls, texts, sends letters, shows up at your home or workplace, anything, you call me immediately and he goes back to jail. Don't engage with him. Just document and report. I change our locks anyway. Nathan installs security cameras outside our apartment. I stop answering unknown numbers and have Nathan screen all my calls. The violation of trust has made me suspicious of everyone. The mailman, our neighbors, even the barista at the coffee shop where I sometimes work. Nathan convinces me to see a therapist who specializes in family trauma. Her name is Dr. Patel. And she doesn't waste time with small talk. Your father didn't just try to steal money, she tells me in our second session. He tried to steal your mother's love for you. The trust wasn't just financial, it was her final act of protection, her way of caring for you when she couldn't be there. And your father tried to erase that. I cry for an hour in her office. She hands me tissues and doesn't tell me to stop. Through Detective Brooks, I'm connected with Jennifer, Amy, and Beth, Patricia's other victims. We create a group chat, and reading their stories helps me feel less alone. Jennifer warns me the legal process will be exhausting. Amy tells me her father eventually apologized, but their relationship never recovered. She sees him once a year at Christmas, and it's awkward and painful. Beth admits she hasn't spoken to her father in 5 years, and doesn't regret it. Some people think blood makes you family, Beth types. But family is about trust and protection. Your father proved he's not family. He's just someone you're related to. Her words hurt because they're true. 2 months after the arrests, the prosecutor calls with an update. Patricia and Garrett are being offered plea deals in exchange for testimony and information about hidden assets. Patricia is offered 12 years, Garrett 15 years. Without the deals, both face 20 years or more at trial. What about my father? I ask. His situation is different. His attorney wants a separate deal, 5 years with parole eligibility after 3 if he pleads guilty, testifies against Patricia, and provides full financial disclosure. He'd also be required to pay full restitution to all victims, including you. The prosecutor pauses. Olivia, you have a right to weigh in on this. It's your inheritance he tried to steal. What do you want? I talked to Nathan, Dr. Patel, and the other victims before deciding. Part of me wants him to face the maximum sentence, 20 years, no parole. The full weight of what he did. But another part, the little girl who still remembers him reading bedtime stories, wants to show mercy I'm not sure he deserves. I won't oppose the plea deal, I finally tell the prosecutor, but only with 3 conditions. First, he writes me a full apology taking complete responsibility, no excuses, no blaming Patricia. Second, permanent estrangement. The no contact order becomes permanent. No contact ever, even after he's released from prison. Third, he signs documents forfeiting any claim to my mother's estate or anything I inherit in the future. Those are reasonable conditions, the prosecutor says. I'll communicate them to his attorney. The plea hearings are scheduled over 3 days. Patricia goes first. She stands before the judge in an orange jumpsuit, her expensive jewelry long gone, looking smaller than I remember. Her attorney reads a statement about how she was trying to help Richard, how family relationships are complicated, how she made poor choices under financial pressure. The judge isn't fooled. Miss Hartford, you have a documented pattern of exploiting vulnerable families across multiple states. You targeted women who'd lost their mothers, using their grief as a weapon. This court sees no evidence of genuine remorse. Patricia is sentenced to the full 12 years with no early parole eligibility. As they lead her away, she looks at me, and for a moment, her mask slips completely. There's pure hatred in her eyes. Garrett's hearing is shorter. He provides minimal information, clearly holding back for his own protection. The judge sentences him to 15 years. He doesn't look at anyone as they take him away. On the 3rd day I attend Dad's plea hearing. Nathan comes with me, holding my hand as we enter the courtroom. Dad is brought in wearing a suit that hangs loose on his frame. He's lost weight in the past 2 months. When he sees me, his whole body seems to crumple. His attorney reads the plea agreement. Dad pleads guilty to conspiracy to commit fraud, identity theft, and attempted grand theft. He accepts full responsibility. He acknowledges he was not coerced by Patricia. He made conscious choices to defraud his daughter. The judge asks if he has anything to say. Dad stands slowly, turning to face me. His voice shakes. Olivia, I have no excuse for what I did. Your mother trusted me to protect you after she was gone, and I betrayed that trust in the worst possible way. I chose money over you. I chose Patricia over you. I chose my fear of being alone over my own child. Tears stream down his face, but I feel nothing. Just emptiness. I don't expect forgiveness, he continues. I don't deserve it. But I need you to know, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The judge accepts the plea deal and sentences him to 5 years in federal prison, with parole eligibility after 3 years. He must pay restitution totaling $150,000 to me, covering legal fees, emotional damages, and punitive damages. He has to liquidate his remaining assets to begin payments. The house will be sold to cover his debts and restitution. After the hearing, Dad's attorney hands Nathan an envelope. Inside is a handwritten letter, 3 pages of cramped writing. The apology I required. I don't read it in the courthouse. I wait until Nathan and I are home, safe in our apartment, with the new locks and security cameras. The letter is detailed, taking full blame, never making excuses. It ends. Asterisk. You deserved a better father. I'm sorry I wasn't him. Please live the life your mother wanted for you. I love you, even though I have no right to say it anymore. Asterisk. I read it once, cry for an hour, then put it in a box with other mementos of my father photos from my childhood. The program from his wedding to Mum. Birthday cards from years ago. I close the box and put it on the top shelf of my closet. I don't plan to open it again. The next day, I meet with Mr. Green to review the trust's security. We add biometric authentication for any modifications, video confirmation of my identity for major transactions, and mandatory waiting periods for large distributions. Your mother built this to last, Mr. Green says, his voice warm. Now it's absolutely impenetrable. No one will ever be able to do what they tried to do. 6 months pass. Nathan and I move to a new apartment across town. A fresh start. A place with no memories of that terrible dinner. We change our phone numbers. We build routines that don't include checking over our shoulders. I start using part of my inheritance to fund a non-profit, helping fraud victims recover and navigate the legal system. We call it the Helen Hartford Foundation, after my mother. Jennifer, Amy, and Beth all volunteer. We help 3 families in our first 6 months, and the work feels like healing. 1 year after the arrests, a letter arrives from the federal prison where Dad is serving his sentence. Nathan opens it first, screening it as he's done with all mail from unknown senders. It's from your dad, he says carefully. Another apology. An update that he's in therapy and taking courses. He asks if you're okay, not for contact. Just wants to know you're safe and happy. I stare at the letter but don't take it. What do you want to do? Nathan asks. Nothing, I say. Not now. Maybe not ever. And I'm learning that's okay. Closure doesn't require reconciliation. On what would have been Mum's 60th birthday, I visit her grave for the first time since the trial. I bring flowers, yellow roses, her favorite. I tell her everything. You knew, I say quietly, my hand on her headstone. You knew Dad couldn't be trusted with my future, so you made sure he couldn't touch it. You protected me even after you were gone. Thank you, Mum. Thank you for loving me enough to see clearly. Driving home, Nathan asks how I'm feeling. Sad, I admit, but not broken. Mom made sure I'd be okay, and I am. Dad couldn't take that from me, no matter how hard he tried. I look at Nathan, the man who protected me when I couldn't protect myself. And I have people who actually love me, not what they can take from me. That night, I remember the letter Mr. Green mentioned, the one from Mom, to be opened when I turned 30. I've been saving it, too afraid to read it, but now feels right. I find it in the safe deposit box where Mr. Green kept it. The envelope is yellowed. Mum's handwriting across the front. Asterisk. For Olivia, on her 30th birthday. Asterisk. My hands shake as I open it. Asterisk. My darling Olivia, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I hope I gave you enough time, enough love, enough strength. I've set up this trust because I know your father. I love him, but I know his weaknesses. He's a good man who makes bad choices when he's afraid. Asterisk. Asterisk. Don't let anyone convince you that protecting yourself is selfish. You deserve security, happiness, and people who love you without conditions. Use this money to build a beautiful life. Make choices that bring you joy. Protect yourself the way I'm trying to protect you now. Asterisk. Asterisk. I'll always be proud of you. I'll always love you. And I'll always be watching over you, even if you can't see me. Asterisk. Asterisk. Love forever, Mum. Asterisk. I read the letter 3 times, tears blurring the words. Then I frame it and place it on my desk where I can see it every day. My mother's love was stronger than my father's betrayal. That's the inheritance that really mattered, not the money, but the protection, the foresight, the unconditional love that reached beyond the grave to save me. I pull out my laptop and start designing a logo for the Helen Hartford Foundation. I think about the families we'll help. The daughters will protect from predators like Patricia. Nathan comes to stand behind me, his hands on my shoulders. Your mom would be so proud of you. I know, I say. And for the first time in over a year, I feel genuinely at peace. I'm going to be okay. Better than okay. I'm going to thrive. Just like Mum wanted.